Hello from the Department of Corrections Department. We're here to inform you that in our October release video, we've made some grievous errors in judgment. We've provided you incorrect information. Because of these been minor corrections, I assume they could have been PM'd to me rather than called out in public. But in all seriousness, we really don't want to have wrong information out there. So, two things revolving the NPC releases for October. One is the fact that the 1944 never came out as a police car. I was thinking of the equally crappy and somewhat also useless 1949 Mercury Custom police car that was put out a year or two ago by NPC, also a snap tie kit. Also, Ernie Pettit didn't work at NPC. It was a man named George Tuttle. I presume I'm pronouncing his name correctly, or else I'll get told about that, too. But anyway, George is the one that ran NPC, who had the thing with the 120th scale cars, who later went on to Lindbergh and had the thing with 120th scale cars there. Ernie and George's paths did cross because at one point in time, Ernie worked at Testers, who owned Kraft House, which was what Lindbergh was at the time, and blah, blah, blah. Everybody's interconnected with everybody within the hobby. A lot of the AMT Ertl guys are now at Mobius, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it was just a slip of the tongue. It was a situation where I've been talking about Mr. Pettit and some other project he had been working on prior to making the video, and I had him stuck on my mind. So, with that being said, let's head on into the video for the 9th of October, 2014. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Stash Project Stash Report for the 9th of October 2014. We have this week is several spot runs from Aoshima. Some of the August stuff is actually showing up this week. We have some new announcements from overseas and a couple of U.S. kits that we forgot to mention last week in regards to being out in actually September. We'll cover those September kits real quick, real fast. They're round 2 stuff. I had the stuff written down for 2 weeks, and I just kept forgetting to talk about it. So anyway, your 2 September round 2 kits that we didn't already cover at one point or another in the last month would be the 33 Willys van. This kit has an expanded original decal sheet and is in a retro box art from the 1970s street rod version of it. Keep in mind that the 33 Willys is not a stock vehicle. It is always, as far as the last umpteenth reissues of it, always been in this street rod format as far as at least the content goes. It has a flip front end and a blown Ford motor and all this other happy nonsense that goes along with it. So it's more or less a drag car with a stock body on it, or well, it's not even a stock body with a flip front end, but a stockish looking body. It is not, there's no factory stock parts to it. It's not a 2-in-1. The other one would be the from NPC, the 1/16 scale Buddy Baker's 1973 Charger. This kit hasn't been available in almost 40 years now. Well, actually, more than 40 years now, 41 years. It's basically the Dukes of Hazzard Street Charger, Richard Petty Charger, except this one has a few different parts than the Richard Petty version. All of those parts have been retooled and redone, and they're in this kit. So if you're into NASCAR and you wanted a matching kit to the Richard Petty car, this kit is now out. I've actually seen it at the local hobby shop, so I can say that both of those are out. Of course, they have been out for several weeks now, but like I said, we forgot to talk about them. So, on to the new stuff. We have Aoshima's and Fujimi's spot runs for the month of November. Notebook of Knowledge time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Notebook of Knowledge, bringing you everything you ever wanted to know about things you can't afford and don't need. My mic stand has decided it's going down and up and down, and I don't know what I need to do to fix that. So, at any rate, here's we're going to play Bouncing Mic Stand, and oh, there it goes. I could have just left that as an outtake for an outtake video some week we were bored and have nothing to do, but that was entirely too funny. Anyway, so fixed mic stand. as we remember, there haven't been really any October spot runs for Aoshima announced. There were like 5. We covered them in the last video. They're back in November with quite a little pile of stuff here. It's not quite as good as August or September or actually July was, but some stuff we're gonna look at here in November. You're gonna see a reissue of the JZX Toyota Chaser with the Aero parts. It's about a 1.5-year-old kit. I think it's been reissued once this year already, but it's getting reissued again. The Toyota Hilux pickup double cab 4-wheel drive. This is the factory stock version of this kit. Obviously, it's an overseas kit. It doesn't come with left-hand drive because the quad cab, double cab, however you look at it, Hilux was never offered here in the United States. You could argue the Hilux wasn't offered at all in the United States. It was technically, the SR5 pickup truck, but this one in specific is not a slammed lowrider. It's not the great big jacked up 4x4 with the chrome undercarriage. This is just the regular factory stock version of the Hilux. You're going to get the S15 Vertex Ridge Silvia. They're going to reissue the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10 Rally Art. Now, why that is important, if you want to call it that, to anybody, is the Rally Art version of the Evo 10 is the only one that comes with the left-hand drive. None of the C West cars do, and none of the factory stocks or the pre-painted ones do. If you want a left-hand drive Evo dash and all the parts that go along with it, you have to get the Rally Art kit. It's been gone for probably about a year and a half now. This is the first time it's been out for a while. Some other reissues. The C33 generation Laurel Medalist Club S. This is the one that's an old motorized kit, but it has the engine insert. The A31 generation Nissan Safari Atessa Cruising. We were just talking about this kit the other day, as a matter of fact. This one, again, has an engine insert, the RB20. The Car Boutique Club A86 Sprinter Truno. The initial Project D spec 86 Truno. This was just run, I believe, last month or the month beforehand. This is one of the ones with an engine. The Club Boutique one does not have an engine. Keep in mind, your 86 kits, only the initial D kits have engine inserts currently. There were some factory stock versions in the past that had engines in them, but currently, as far as the kits that they've reissued, other than some of the Levins that are, the other side of the Toyota Corolla spectrum, the only Trunos that have engines are those initial D kits. The Mode Parfum GRS 182 Crown Royal Saloon, it's a VIP car. A phone call coming in there. I'm sure that now I'm going to hear about how my speakers are tack-tack-tack-tacking in the background. The Admiration Creature Crown Majesta. There's a 2004 Crown Majesta VIP. Silk Blaze MSAS Toyota Alphard VIP van. Fabulous MSAS Toyota Alphard VIP van. You're going to see the fabulous 2007 Hi-Ace Super GL VIP van. The Celica 1600 GT, what they're calling the renewal package. There's nothing new about this. It's been the renewal package the last several times, so it's been reissued. That is a Best Car Vintage GT kit. Keep in mind, generic motorized chassis with those. They're going to bring the drift parts back. They're going to bring the sports compact parts or the Spocom parts back. You can still thank Dave Zinn for that. And then there's going to be 3 sets of pre-painted wheels coming out. These will run under the Raise wheels sets. I think are being sold as S parts this time around. But the Racing Heart CR with pre-painted gunmetal centers. Volk Racing CE28N, they're going to be pre-painted in titanium silver, and Volk Racing TE37s that are going to be pre-painted white. So I don't think any of those wheel sets none of those wheel sets are new. They're all being reissued, but none of them are even particularly new. Like I said, they're being reissued as pre-paints this time around. From Fujimi, we're going to have 4 spot runs, 1 technically modified new kit reissue, as well as a sort of big news, I guess you want to call it that. Hey, my hands are really big when I do this. Anyway, the big piece of news that I wasn't expecting, I don't think anybody was, in the sense of seeing it quite so soon, but it answers a question we've had for a while about what tooling from the Mitsuya series that Fujimi have their hands on. Late November, probably going to skew into December more than likely. They're going to be reissuing the old 1980s Hino Super Dolphin. This one's going to be done as a dump truck, which is how the kit was issued. I'm going to say like the second variation of this. The Hino, I don't believe ever got the whole Japanese art truck thing done to it. It was packaged with the car hauler, the trailer part, as a kit. But if you remember the Mitsuya stuff, and without going over the whole thing, it was a tractor, then a dump truck, and then it was mudded with a car hauler, and then at least for the Mitsubishi Fuso one, it became the Japanese art truck thing. At any rate, this is the dump truck version of this. It's going to be $68, which I think is like $10 less than the car hauler was. It'll be interesting to see if you could make, like, what parts are in this. Japanese manufacturers, of course, are famous for just leaving all the parts in it. So we'll have the fifth wheel and stuff like that. It would be almost worth buying if it had the parts you need to turn it into a tractor without the dump bed on it. Because then you could mate it to the car hauler, or you could make a dump truck out of the Mitsubishi Fuso, and then you could have two car haulers, I guess, technically speaking. If you bought a Mitsubishi Fuso for the car hauler, and then you bought one again to make a dump truck out of it. Yeah, I expect that, given the course of time, Fujimi being one that loves to reissue things 80 gazillion times, 80 gazillion ways, that you'll see the Hino mated with a car hauler and the Fuso turned into a dump truck, and maybe we'll see the Japanese art truck series come back out if they really have all the parts to this. The one sort of new tool that's really not even modified, reissue, they're going to be doing a 2014 version of the BMW Z4 GT3. You may recall technically this came out 2 months ago in that Pain series cars. Those were technically the first 2014 GT3s. What's different about this is that it has whatever the 2013, 2014 decals are. I believe they're still the Crown Royal Plaza Hotel decals, because that's at least what was in my 2013 that I have. What's going to be different about this, as far as other than being updated to 2014, which I don't believe there's actually any difference in them, really. It might be decals, because if you really take a close look between the 2011, 2012, and 2013, 2014, one of the major differences with it was the fog light area, and in those kits, those are done with decals, not actual parts. So they were thinking ahead with that at least a little bit. Anyway, the difference here is, other than having just a regular racing livery, it'll have masking seals for the windows. Fujimi's got a masking seal, all the things. Some stuff that's not going to be masking sealed, or at least it doesn't say it. You're going to see the reissue of the ancient Mark I, Generation 1 Volkswagen Golf GTI. I know a lot of people hate this kit. It's an old motorized kit, so it has all the old motorized parts in it. Doesn't have the motor in it anymore, but if you like look at the instructions for it, it still has like the geared rear axle that would mesh with the actual motor, the electric motor you put into it. No surprise, technically speaking, to see this out. Now, where this may become sort of interesting is whether or not the body on this Golf GTI is any more accurate than the one that is going to be on the Revell of Germany kit that's being issued this month. Because then you could see the justification of buying this Fujimi kit, because it's going to be like $15, and mating it with the new Revell of Germany kit and just supplying the chassis and the interior and the engine and all that stuff out of the Revell of Germany kit. Although, from everything I've seen about the Revell of Germany kit, nobody's ever really complained about it being out of proportion. Revell of Germany, is not Revell of USA. They don't pre-chop their tops and scrunch and slab side die cast everything. So I haven't seen anybody who's seen test shots of it say, well, this is really wrong and the Fujimi kit was better. But, if you wanted to, I guess, kit bash them, you could, or, it's certainly an option. Let's put it this way. It's no surprise to see it come out the same month or just, right afterwards that the Revell of Germany's brand new Mark I, Gen 1 Golf GTI is coming out. Also on the reissue slate for November are the E30 versions of the BMW 325i and the BMW 325 Alpina C1 2.3. These were back orderable at Hobby Link Japan, at least. So I don't know that maybe it's one of those things that's been back orderable for like 6 months and nobody's ever got one yet. But, it was not discontinued in that sense. The M3 version is. That hasn't been out for quite a while, but, at least the 325 and the Alpina, you could back order. the Golf GTI, well, I was thinking about it because I was, in my mind, I'm viewing a screen. I've had a computer implanted, yes. The Mark 1 has been out since like 2005, 2006, so it's been almost 10 years. Anyway, on to the last one is going to be the Isuzu Ballot kit. You remember, recall this is sort of a smallish car. I'm trying to think what it compares to. It's like a 70s Japanese car. It's that's something in the variation of this as far as what it is. It's this is a 70s GTR. It's something about that size. It's a compact Japanese car. This kit was issued two different ways. One is an 1800 GT, and then as a 1600 GTR. The GTR kit, at least from the box art, because I've never actually owned either one of these, had Watanabes, and it was a little more, aggressive styling. It's a little more sporty, if you want to call it that. This kit is going to be offered as both in one box. It's not 2-in-1. There aren't two bodies. You can't build two kits out of it. But instead of having to go track down two of these to build one each way, this will have both versions of the car in one box. So technically, you still need two, but they're going to run again $15 right now. If you go try to track down one of the 1600 GTRs, you're probably looking at like $40-50. The 1800 GTs aren't that much farther behind as far as price goes. Those kits again haven't been out for a little while. So we have some stuff from Aoshima to discuss real quick. This is all spot runs. So we said some of this stuff came out is actually a little older than others. The oldest stuff, real quick here, this is August stuff, is they finally restocked this S13 Nissan Silvia. It has the SR20 engine in it, much like a bunch of these kits that have the engine insert in them. You have to cut the hood out. It's an old curbside that they later put the engine insert into. Also, what they call the optional wheel version of the 2007 Impreza WRX STI, the non-optional wheel. The original version of this was a white car with like 5-spoke chrome wheels. This obviously World Rally Blue with the gold rims on it. I'm trying to do this in order, and I guess we're going to come into September here. You got your 4-wheel sets. I can't remember if I actually brought this up or not last week. So if I did these last week, I apologize. I just didn't delete out the pictures. So anyway, your 4-wheel sets. We're just going to run through the pictures real quick, because the more I look at these, the more I think I already covered them. But anyway, they just finally got stocked in last week. And then stuff that came out this morning, actually, are the 2 VIP High Aces. This one, the Hot DNA VIP American, which I think is funny because, again, you can't buy this van in America. How would they know what a VIP-style American van would look like if they don't offer it? And the other one being the Boxy-style 2010 High Ace. And then last but not least was the 10th anniversary Copen. This one they're calling it metal stickers. Obviously, they're the metal transfer things like Tamiya offers. And that, guys, is that. There's still, I don't know, at least a half a dozen August spot runs that have never come out yet, or at least never stocked into anywhere. And then I believe there's still 2 or 3 September spot runs. So some interesting information there from Fujimi. We didn't really expect to see the Hino Dolphin probably till next year. So depending on how the tooling is, may not see it till next year. Anybody remembers the Fuso car hauler coming out? It was delayed at least 4 or 5 months through the course of time. I know that the Isuzu Ballot is interesting to me, mainly because I had looked at trying to acquire them and didn't like the prices I saw. I like the price of the reissue a great deal better. And beyond that, it's just a bunch of, I don't want to call it stocking stuffers, but November, it's Christmas time. But it's a bunch of stock stuffers. It's just stuff to put in there that, are popular kits, as most of the spot runs are. Nothing earth-shattering from Aoshima, obviously, because they've got their new stuff coming. And Fujimi, I guess their big news is the Super Dolphin. That's going to be the thing that they had to sink some money into to clean the tooling up, demotorize it like they did the Fuso and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're looking for November. They're really, if you look at the October stuff, there's some stuff coming out, but most of it is still at least a week or 2 away. I guess the one thing we might find out, and it will spawn a video if we do, is the first quarter information from Ravel. Like I said, they aren't supposed to be going to Toledo on Saturday, a couple days from now, but it wouldn't be surprised me if either over the weekend or first thing on Monday we finally get their first quarter stuff. So if we do, we'll put out a first quarter 2015 video with the AMT stuff that we know about, and the MPC stuff, and the Polar Light stuff, and there's some Lindbergh stuff in there too. Come think of it. So until that rolls around and we get more information to share with everybody, we'll see you on the